My name is Michelle Craft. I live in Germany, and I'm a life transformation coach. I'm also a speaker, author, teacher, and artist. In addition, I host my own radio show called The You Visualize Show, in which I interview amazing and powerful guides whom, like myself, contribute to inspiring others to create a more joyful life. In order to help my clients learn how to visualize more vividly and effectively, I design and produce videos for them in which I digitally place their face on the body they prefer, doing what they want, and having what they desire. Often, the motivation that inspires change is launched by a catalyst, which is how many of my changes began. And 10 years ago, I was living an uninspired life. I was in an unhappy marriage, was extremely overweight, and I just felt empty. I knew there was more to life, and I knew I was unhappy, but I was in such a paralyzing depression that I couldn't do anything about my condition. However, in October of 2000, my 19-year-old daughter, seaman apprentice Keisha Stidham, was serving aboard the Navy ship the USS Cole when it was bombed in the terrorist attack in the port of Yemen, Aden. Upon hearing the news, the phone hung at my fingertips, and my mind spun out of control. Suddenly, in the midst of a life where I was bored and unhappy with me, the priority of what was most important shifted instantly. I waited to hear whether my daughter had survived the brutal attack. I watched the faces and the reports of the deaths of my daughter's shipmates stream in, and I feared she might be one of them. Until I knew she was safe, nothing else mattered. I didn't sleep or eat, and you couldn't pry the phone from my fingers. Then I received a phone call from a journalist whom asked if he could bring a photo that had come over the wire of a wounded female sailor from the Cole to see if it was my daughter, and I agreed. Undoubtedly, I knew it was her. I stared at the black and white photo of my daughter lying in a bed in a Yemen hospital. Half her face was bandaged and her chest was covered in blood, and I wept. I waited anxiously by the phone until it rang again, and all that escaped from my lips was, "You're alive, Keisha," and she said, "I'm alive, Mama." And with the silence, and a crackle, and the long-distance connection, she said, "Mama, my friends died." All I could say through tears was, "I know, baby. I'm sorry." It was on the bus holding my daughter's hand, traveling to the Portsmouth Naval Hospital, when I realized we were about to step into the hospital, where my daughter had been born just 19 years earlier, where I had vowed, as I took my newborn home, to protect her always, with my own life if I had to, and I knew that I couldn't keep my promise. I watched the other sailors limp through the hospital corridors, being comforted by their mothers, supported by their fathers, and loved by their shipmates. I sat next to mothers holding their hand as they waited to find out if their children were alive, and hoped against hope with them. And Keisha looked on in tears. At the memorial, I watched the wounded coal sailors weep for the loss of their shipmates and honor them. I saw in the eyes of each coal sailor the camaraderie, the commitment, and the honor. And I questioned my own life. What was I doing? What was I committed to, and what did I honor? Realizing suddenly that all I really had was now. All that really existed was now. There's always a part of us that desires change, but we fear facing changes that are difficult or painful. However, when we face the truth, face our fear, joy and freedom waits on the other side. Even in the most apparently devastating situation, we can find benefits. There is a growth opportunity within, and we can face it and uncover its value. We become wiser each time we open our hearts and minds and say, "I want everything, all the growth and new possibilities that I can imagine." I made the decision to change my entire life. I dissolved my unhappy marriage and lost 80 pounds. I made a sign for my garage sale that read "Life for Sale," and I put it on my lawn. I sold most of what I owned and left my 3-bedroom house in the suburbs. I didn't know what I would do or where I would go just yet, but it didn't matter. I was free to create the life I wanted. I was homeless for a while, during which I wrote my book, Standing Watch, about my daughter and the coal, at coffee shops, and I slept in my car. But within months, I began creating the life and lover I wanted. I penned a list of 35 qualities I wanted in a lover. Then I put the list away. And 6 weeks later, my beautiful, energetic, supportive, and love of a lifetime, Jerome, showed up, and my life changed forever. Within 18 months, I published my book. We were married barefoot on the beach in Bali, and I returned to college and earned my BA in Fine Arts. We've traveled all over the world together, and for now, we live in Germany, and I enjoy my life with my wonderful husband. The coal bombing made me realize that all we really have is now, and that joy and feeling good is the most important factor in life, for what we feel is all that we can offer to the world. I realized that before that day, what I had been living was not life, and I made a choice to create the life I wanted. When we feel good, when we feel pure joy about our lives, about who we really are, and offer that to ourselves and to the world, our divinity and our love, our life is a gift every day. Allow me to help you find the gift that is your life. Thank you.